a little situation that's happening with Genshin Impact. Reddit has been blowing up with this, and I'm glad that, you know, people are starting to realize the really big major problems with Genshin Impact. And there's two things that I can really think of. One is the resin system. So, and then also the loot boxes. That's the second thing. Resin system, I think, is probably the major thing that everyone is really upset about, especially when you get into endgame. Because when you're playing the game initially, you're running through missions, you're doing a lot of things, there's so much to explore, there's just too much. Endgame, however, consists of either opening chests by exploring or co-op. And co-op is extremely limited in this game. There's literally like two things you can do. It's either log in with your friend to go knock out these purple dailies, so the emergency things. You could share this loot, so you can log into each other's thing and get that, which that's the only co-op thing that I can find that actually is really beneficial to playing with other people. And then the other thing is doing the actual dungeons, and is doing the ley lines to get more gold or to get more character scrolls. But these things are very, very limited by the amount of resin that you have available, which you only have 120, and each of these dungeons usually require 20 resins. So that means at total you're doing what? Like, you're doing 6 dungeons, or if you're going to fight one of these bosses to ascend one of your characters, you can only do this like 3 times because it costs 40 resins. So like, it's pretty limited. This game basically was made by people that are mostly into the mobile scene, so they've only made mobile type games. So they're used to this method of having, like, you know, a cooldown system where you play it for like 30 minutes and then you're done, you log off, and you don't play it for like another like 8 hours or something. You know, because it's supposed to be super, super duper casual in that approach. Or you can pay to win. I mean, I'm pretty sure that that's what the major focus here is, that they're hoping that when you run out of resin, you're gonna be itching to be like, I need to get that gear. I really need my gear, so you know what? I'm gonna recharge this shit right now. You know, like, that's what they're hoping that you're gonna do, and you're gonna waste your wish gems on trying to actually participate in doing more co-op or more ley lines. You know what I mean? So this is what the end game basically consists of, and you can't upgrade your characters if you're not able to do these things. And another thing that's really limiting is that a lot of these dungeons are specific by the day. So let's say, for example, Dingling, whatever. Maybe I'm trying to upgrade her. Yep. Yeah, I need these things. You see, and they only drop in specific days. So depending on what character you main, depends on what kind of drops you're going to be trying to aim for. So let's say today is Sunday, so I can do the domain of forgery, which is this one right here. So me and my wife are going to start farming this. But the problem, it goes right back to resin. So we can only do it 6 times until we have to recharge our resin. Thankfully, we have some resin thingies saved up, so we can be able to, you know, see, I can pop these resin things and get 60 every time. So there is that, but it still is inevitable that you're going to run out of your stuff, and then you're going to have to use wish gems to be able to continue grinding. So if you had a goal in mind of what you were trying to do, this is super limiting. And especially if you want to play with your friends, then it's, again, super limiting. There's really not a whole lot of stuff you can do together anyway, because you can't do missions together. And you can't open chests together, so that pretty much eliminates most of the game. So I'm really hoping that they either reduce the amount of time, reduce the amount of time it takes for this to recharge, because at the moment it gives you 1 point every 8 minutes. Maybe if they dropped it down to like a minute, like, that would be amazing if they dropped it down to like a minute, or if they just get rid of the resin system altogether, which I know they won't do, because they're banking on you going in and doing exactly what I said before, which is, hey, I'm desperate. I really need to get this gear today, so I'm going to throw my wish gems at it. You know what I mean? So that's what they're hoping that you're going to do. So I feel like the happy medium that would work best for both the player and also the company themselves would be is if they added this into a monthly subscription. Like if they made it like $15 a month, just like they have that whole $5 thing in the cash shop. Like I'm paying for that right now. This whole what's this called? This shit. So this Blessing of the Walking Moon thing. If they would bump this up to $15 a month, they would get their $15 subscription fee, and then we can do unlimited resin. Like, how about that? I mean, that would I feel like I would do it. Fuck it. Like, I want to be able to do the co-op as much as I want, and maybe this could be a thing. I don't know. But it's all up to the company at the end of the day. They're going to have to figure it out. They're going to start losing a lot of players if they haven't already. So that's inevitable too. Because there's not a lot of people that actually follow social media and actually are like all in on all this stuff. So I'm glad that there's a lot of coverage as far as like a lot of people complaining. Because the more people complaining means that we could potentially see a change, a positive change of this actually being either removed or being fixed. So we'll see what happens. But there's a new event also coming out. So there's a new co-op event, and that co-op event is also going to be using resin apparently. So like it adds more to the problem. So I'm really hoping they realize that, and they realize that it's a huge issue. Another thing, so also the loot boxes. That's another big issue in this game. Because of the drop chance, especially trying to get like the 5-star super characters, whatever. It costs a lot to get them. It's literally like a 0.6 chance that you're gonna get these guys unless you get what they call pity. And pity is basically every 20 or so rolls, you get an extra, like it bumps up the percentage of chance to get something like that. So literally like and then the guaranteed pity is like 90 or something. Like it's pretty ridiculous. It's pretty ridiculous the amount of times you gotta roll to get these characters. I'm still yet to get a 5-star, so I've just been rolling slowly every day with my free points. I never spend money. I'm just rolling free points and just praying to God that I get something. You know what I mean? That's pretty much how this works. With Venti, I started looking at the history of this because I noticed that, like I said, every 20 rolls you get a chance. So right now I'm at, let's see, there's 6 per page, and you can actually read this yourself by going into the same menu. So 1, 2, let me see how many pages I got. Okay, so I got 6 pages. So technically, I have 5. Let me do some math real quick. I want to see how many I have left. So 5 times 6, so 30. And then I'm at, so 34. So 34 times. So that means I can do 6 more rolls and I'll get to 40 rolls. And maybe that would give me a chance at getting him. So I'm going to try rolling 4 more times on this to fulfill, to see if I can get Venti. If I don't get Venti in the 4 rolls, then all right, I abandon hope and I'm gonna move on to the gene pool again. Because the gene pool, I'm already almost at 90 rolls. I did the math yesterday and I was at like 70 something. So the closer I get to 90, the better. That way, because the 90th roll is basically the guaranteed 5-star. Hopefully it doesn't give me a weapon. So I don't know, like I really don't want a 5-star weapon. I want the characters. Like that's what everybody likes. They want the characters. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, that's my whole news report on all this stuff happening.